Alright guys, well welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dude and I am going to talk to you about making custom motor mounts. Let me show you why we're doing this. Alright, well this is the bottom side of our front suspension cross member that we are going to be narrowing. The motor mounts bolt into this location here and here from the bing other side. This is the stock Corvette motor mount. This thing is about 5 inches in diameter. It's huge. Okay. So when we narrow this thing, cut 6 inches out, then we need to try to keep these in the original location, which means moving these mounts outward. Okay. Alright, so if that is the original location of that motor mount, you can see we've only got 3/4 of an inch that we can relocate that hole. Can you imagine relocating that hole 3/4 of an inch over? Center line to center line, that's going to be a problem anyway. Okay, we have to probably do a minimum of 1.5 inches. So that's not going to work unless we do something different. So these are the strengthening ribs that run underneath. So I was thinking, after we cut the 6 inches out of the middle, instead of using a single bolt through the bottom, we'll do a double bolt spanning this rib, and we'll have that single bolt going up. I need to keep the original 3-inch height of this motor mount, okay, but just move the center line from here over to here somewhere. So we're going to try to pick up, you know, 1.5 inches, 1 3/4 inches, something like that. So hence the need for a custom motor mount. Alright, so we're going to be starting with a section of 2-inch square tubing. This stuff is a 1/16 of an inch thick, 120 wall. So plenty strong for what we're going to be doing. And first order of the day is to cut off a couple of 1-inch slices from this thing. Alright, so I bought these 10mm bolts from Home Depot. One is 40 millimeters long, the other is 60 millimeters long. For a single motor mount, I'm going to use 1 short and 2 long ones. Okay, I'm not sure what size this drill bit is, but it looks pretty good to me. Alright, so I'm donning some better gloves to do this. I'm going to put my first bolt hole right down the middle. I don't know if you guys can see, but trust me, it's in the middle. Here's my first piece. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to weld this bolt to the inside. Eyes, where's my ears? There we go. Eyes and ears. And I'm gonna go ahead and do both sides. You know what I should have done? A little late now, okay, but I'll do that on my second one. I should have used the whole one and put 2 holes in there and used that for my bottom and then built the upper one later, because I'm going to have to narrow one of these so I can fit it up tight against the trailing arm. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this one here, I'm going to throw it to the side, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this one and cut another square piece also. Alright, so you can see I've dropped 2 long bolts down the inside of this square tube, and I've got them positioned as far apart from each other as I can possibly get them. Maybe some kind of bit or something to kind of help hold them apart. But at this point I'm going to go ahead and weld them solid to that tube. Okay, so now I got these 2 mounting bolts. That's hot. And I need to interlock them. So what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and cut this one apart. I want this to be more narrow anyway. For your application, you may want to keep it the full width here. You'll have to use a little bit more urethane, but not a big deal. But I want to keep mine as narrow as possible, more like a transmission mount. So I'm going to be knocking this down quite a bit so that it just barely fits over the other mount here. So I'm going to trim all around. Okay. Alright, so this is what I've got now. It's still warm. Okay. You can see my weld across there. That's going to go on the inside. And I'll need to take my bolt that I cut off and weld that to the inside here. Like so. Okay. And that's going to be my internal mechanism. Alright, and there is a motor mount internals number 2. Yay! Alright, so the next step in making these custom urethane motor mounts is we measured off our box about the size we need. I want to try to minimize the overall footprint of my box, so I don't use a whole lot of this urethane. It's pretty expensive. Punched a couple holes in the bottom. Alright, I want to drop this through those holes. The other one here, let me see here. About the same. There we go. Okay. So we're going to drop it all the way through the bottom. And of course, I need a 3-inch height. So you're just double checking everything. Boom, right at 3 inches there. We're going to be filling this box up to that level. But we don't want this upper mount part to sit on the bottom. We want it to be off the bottom just a little bit. So let's see, a little piece of cardboard here. We're going to thread that over the top and we'll center it. And we'll just kind of let it rest like that. Okay, that'll give me room to pour in the urethane from the sides. So I'm mounting this up in the vise. And make sure everything's still centered. Good. That looks nice. All right. You guys see this? So we got 2 bolts on the bottom, 1 bolt on top. And we want to fill these up with the urethane. Okay? See how that works? Okay, and for our urethane, we're going to be using this Urethane 94 liquid for maximum muscular development. So this will get us where we need to be. And this stuff's kind of pricey. And there's probably some instructions on this stuff somewhere, but eh. Right, we're guys, right? We don't read instructions. And I'm just going to use the whole thing here. Well, I might as well just mix it in here. Why not? Ooh, messy. The bottle, this thing is not quite full, so if you're expecting this to be full, you're going to be disappointed. We're about right there with the additive. So, just saying. Real well. The better you mix it, probably the better it'll set. That's my experience with any of this catalyzed stuff. Well, it actually has a stir stick in here too, somewhere. A little wooden paddle that you can stir in case you don't want to use your screwdriver. Where'd my stir stick go? That thing walked away. And I'm getting it on my fingers now too. Great. I should probably be wearing gloves for this. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of scoot these bolts off to the side for now. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. do what? Oh, I don't have any leaks. I used clear packing tape all the way around it. And I'm gonna get some newspaper for the floor. Alright, hey, I always wanted a urethane garage floor. Now I have it. Alright, well the drip has just about stopped on these bolt holes. I've got them about 3/4 full, so I'm going to go ahead and top them off. But if you're doing this, yeah, I'd probably just do maybe like 1/4 on the bottom so you don't build up too much pressure, hydrostatic pressure. There's a drip right there, drip. And then of course once you get that initial set of the urethane, then you go ahead and top it off. And it's like you've got about maybe 5 minutes working time, maybe a little bit more. This stuff is almost done. You can see it's coming out pretty slow now. So I'm just going to top this off a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much. Ooh. All right, well, it's certainly topped off now. Not the prettiest finish to it, but it is full mostly. So it might have a little divot there. Kind of fill that in right there. But that looks pretty full. Anyway, once this stuff dries, then I can peel off the cardboard and take a razor blade and smooth it up a little bit if I want to. But I think this thing takes a few days to reach maximum hardness. And like I said, this Flexane 94 should get to a durometer reading of like a 94, so that's pretty solid stuff. This is what you use for race car bushings and stuff. A lot of the polyurethane bushings you find for your cars is a bit lower in hardness, maybe 80 hardness. So the 94 is definitely up there. So this will give me maximum resistance to these motor mounts, getting pulled apart. So that's what you want. If you want a performance street machine. If you want a comfortable ride, then stick with rubber. But anyway, so that's it. Short video on making custom urethane motor mounts. Catch you later. It's been about 2 hours since I did this. I'm gonna have to just cut the card. Well, maybe not. I think it's starting to come apart. Tape's coming off. I used the shiny side on the inside so it'd have a better chance of releasing, and that seems to have been a wise move. I guess technically you could just leave the cardboard on there if you wanted to.